Apple TV has made a few of its own content, TV series and movies, some even animated. And I decided to watch Wondla. I did not care for it. I did not. If you can think of almost any science fiction cliche, this has it. If you don't mind science cliches, like, I can honestly admit I can watch the newest Planet of the Apes movie and just have it on in the background and on and off pay attention to it, because certain science fiction movies, if they're made a certain way, can kind of be like, I don't know, what Hallmark is to other people. It is basic, it is predictable, but it is a genre that I find comforting and entertaining enough. That is the best I can say about this cliche, predictable, just blah series. Too bad, because I feel like it could have had potential. I mean, got any story, it doesn't have to be original to be good, it just has to be made well. And the sad thing is, Wondla seems to have excellent animation. Oh my goodness. Animation is phenomenal. It's just an excellent study to watch of how people like studied textures, like how certain aliens like moved their mouths, to how they designed the clothes, the gleam, how certain like magic works. Just all of that was absolutely delightful. The CG texturing is awesome. Like, the hair, the fur, the plants, the wood, just so many elements. Like, the whole elements of this world are just awesome. It's not as like colorful and ridiculous as, say, The Croods or Avatar is, but it is just enough to be its own thing. It's definitely better, at least, than Strange World, though, again, low bar. Storytelling-wise, I cannot say it's better than Strange World. I can't. Does it have any interesting new minorities in it? No, not really. But, oh my god, the voice acting on our main character, aggravating. Throughout the whole thing, she's getting hurt, but her face still stays all shiny and perfect, which annoys the heck out of me. Her clothes get dirty, but there's not a hair out of place. Her face is untouched, and that's just lazy to me. Ugh. And she's overly perky. It's not cute. It's not. There's so many moments where, yeah, she gets angry, but she could be absolutely angrier with her situation and her frustration. And it's so annoying that she does not. It's so annoying. Other things about it. Brad Garrett plays a hefty character, and I think he's a better voice actor and could have done more with their Appa-like creature. Yeah, he isn't as completely wasted as Raya's, like, I don't know, it's kind of like a cutesy armadillo creature in Raya and the Last Dragon, but not by much. It's not much better by all that. Again, the voice acting for the grumpy alien dude who's supposed to be their guy, but he's not really trustworthy. Where have you heard that before? The voice acting, again, he makes a lot of sarcastic comments, but they don't hit right. You know, they don't land because it all seems so rushed. Like, all the conversations just seem so speeded and rushed, as if, you know, they're trying to talk as quickly as possible or else they think they're going to die. But they also lack the urgency, and I could not really totally believe that they're in their situation because it all just felt so distant. So, ew. Oh, and I don't like that the mother character was only a mother. I don't like that when there are like female characters and people say they took the boring road because it was their choice, as if it's such a novelty for women to even have a choice that this kind of justifies what they did. Now, mothers are wonderful creatures. I, right now, in my crutch-like state, am grateful for my mother, I'll be honest. But I also love my mother because she's a fuller person. Like, there's even a time where our main female heroine or whatever is separated from the group, and then in an episode or two afterwards, she reunites with them because she just randomly finds them in the middle of wherever. So lazy. Like, oh, they could have spent that episode, instead of like all agreeing that it's really hard to cross a bridge, we could have seen how like the group without what's her name decide to join together and travel together. Mother could have had more of a personality. Like, poor man's Appa could have done more. Blue guy could have, had more of a conversation like with Mother, and they could have both like seen each other as persons other than just like surrogate parents for what's her name. Wasted opportunities. I will say that the only time in this movie where I felt any like true, not movie, the only time where I felt genuine warmth in this series was when like the main chick was becoming friends with the alien princess. Just how they talked about how very alone they were and how they were laughing from how awkward it was. I don't know, like in those moments, because they were both like sincerely happy to have someone to talk to. Yeah, I believe that was a real moment of happiness for both of them. Because, yeah, it's not totally explained why the queen is so insecure and such. It doesn't explain what she does, like, during her day. It just explains how much she misses her father. Aww. You failed the Bechdel test with that one. So, yeah. I don't know, do they pass the Bechdel test when, like, Ava, I think it was Ava. I think her name was Ava. Ava and Mother talk, but it's mostly about how Mother disapproves of her doing anything. Now, while I was watching this, I thought a lot about Dr. Wakeman from My Life as Teenage Robot, and that is a much better example of an overprotective, like, momish character, because Dr. Wakeman was also a very crotchety scientist who just really was disappointed with people. I mean, it's one thing for her to have unrealistic expectations of, her greatest invention / the robotic child that she raised, but she just does not have any good expectations for anyone else. Like, that's kind of what makes her, like, I'm not gonna say charming, but kind of is. She's that kind of like grouchy charming thing where even though she, might roll her eyes and constantly like sigh and scoff in disappointment, she is at least loyal to her daughter and wants to teach her daughter as much as she can to like use her powers. And, learn that her daughter is a person outside of it. You gave this, robotic, or not really artificial intelligence, because Jenny is like one of the most sincere characters ever in animation in my heart. But yeah, their relationship's so much better. Now, I guess it's easy to say that because My Life as Teenage Robot, I saw all the episodes, all the seasons. But yeah, this show, I just saw 8 episodes. And while some shows can do a lot with 8 episodes and do amazing things, this show decided to do the bare minimum. Wow. So, do I think it's all right for Baby's first, like, animated series? Sure, I guess. Like, there is nothing truly violent or offensive in it that I cannot say a small child could watch. If you're an animation fan, maybe you'll appreciate the excellent CG texturing like I do. But I will also say that the lighting in it was way too bright. It felt like, I don't know, there were spotlights everywhere at every scene. Even when they were outside, it did not like feel like sunshine as much as just an overlit set. And that's ridiculous. So if you're an animation fan and you want to critique it or admire it, go ahead. If you're somebody who likes science fiction, even to like the lowest degree as I sometimes do, yeah, you gotta really want to set your expectations super low. It's not even so bad that it's fun to mock, just that it's boring. And yeah, I watched the whole thing because I kept thinking, maybe this will get better. It's an interesting premises, last human, Earth is post-apocalyptic, but they made it cute. Yeah. I'm not even kidding when I say I think Home is an excellent, like, alien invasion movie if you're a small child. Yeah. But Home did a lot of little things way better. I'm not saying Home is a great movie, but I'm saying that it did a lot of things with its characters to flesh them out much better than this series had with 8 episodes. So, yeah, I do not recommend Wondla for many people. I don't. It's sad because I want to encourage animation to happen more, but I don't want to encourage this lazy sort of animation where, yeah, you think if you just have a girl main character, oh, and she's brunette, how neat, that you've already done your enough with character development. No, there needs to be more range, more choices, more stakes. And yeah, I just didn't feel enough of it. There wasn't enough meat on this. It was more like one of those, like, cake pops, or I don't even know, like just a cake in a grocery store where somebody took the effort to make pretty little icing flowers, but when you actually taste it, it's basically like tissue paper or paper towels just kind of melded together in a failed sort of paper mache project. That is how I feel about Wondla. Yeah.